Hello, Namaste and Vanakkam. My dear friends, in this video, I will be discussing the important sections in the assessment procedure topic. So without wasting any further time, let us get started. So my dear friends, let us now discuss the certain key points in assessment procedure. Key points with respect to the time period and if any prior approval is required. On these two bases only I have selected the sections in the assessment procedure chapter. Okay, the first section that we will discuss is section 142(1), and that is the inquiry before assessment. We call it the RIA notice. R for return, I stands for information, and A stands for accounts. Okay, so RIA notice to furnish return under section 139(1). So in what circumstances can this notice under section 142(1) be issued for an enquiry before any assessment is taken up? Those matters are in order to furnish a return under section 139(1) or to furnish information including assets and liabilities details. If the information is demanded is related to assets and liabilities not included in books of accounts, prior approval of joint commissioner is required. Okay, and in case of in order to produce books of accounts and documents, maximum 3 years prior to relevant previous year. So in these three cases, RIA notice can be issued under section 142(1). Moving on to the next section, section 142(2)(a), that is a special audit by department. AO can direct special audit with prior approval of CIT or PCIT, that is Commissioner of Income Tax or Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, or CCIT and PCCIT. Okay, and in which cases AO can direct special audit having regard to, we can check out page number 330 in compiler, having regard to V mines. Okay, V stands for volume of accounts, M multiplicity of transaction in accounts, I stands for the interest of revenue, N stands for nature and complexity of accounts, D for doubts about the correctness of the accounts, and S stands for specialized nature of business activity of the assessee. So in these six cases, the AO can direct special audit. Okay, audit report is to be submitted within time allotted by AO or such extended time which in total should not exceed 180 days. Okay, this is with respect to section 142(2)(a), that is special audit, which is an audit conducted by the Income Tax Department. Moving on to the next section 143(1), processing of return, that is the intimation. Intimation before making any proposed adjustment should be responded to by the assessee within 30 days of its issue to the assessee. Final intimation is to be issued within 1 year from the end of financial year in which the return is filed. Here you have to note that it is within 1 year from end of financial year in which the return is filed. For example, if the return for financial year 1920 was filed on 30th July 2020, intimation is to be issued on or before 31/3/2022. Okay, which is within 1 year from the end of financial year in which return is filed. Okay. Moving on to the next section 144(c), reference to dispute resolution panel, DRP, reference to DRP. DRP is a collegium of 3 CIT or PCIT constituted by CBDT. Okay. Here in this case, draft order should be forwarded by AO to the assessee in 2 cases. And which are these 2 cases? You can refer page number 239 in compact. Here I have taken it for you. The 2 cases are, one of the cases, foreign company in whose case AO wants to increase the income or decrease the loss of the foreign company, and the other case, in case of any other assessee, where the variation in total income arises on account of order of transfer pricing officer passed under section 92 CA. Okay. Here in these 2 cases, draft order shall be forwarded by AO to the assessee, and within 30 days of the receipt, what can the assessee do? Assessee files acceptance to the assessing officer, or assessee may file objections to AO and DRP. If there is any objection, then the assessee has to file it to the assessing officer as well as the DRP. And in case of acceptance, only to the assessing officer. Okay. And after the assessee files acceptance, the assessing officer should pass final order within 1 month from the end of the month in which acceptance is received by the assessing officer. Okay. And in case the assessee files objections, DRP, that is the dispute resolution panel, shall issue directions to AO within 9 months from the end of the month in which the draft order is forwarded to the assessee. Such directions are binding on AO, which means the AO has to accept the directions issued by the DRP. Okay, and the DRP shall issue such directions after taking into consideration the draft order, objections which are filed by the assessee, and evidence furnished by the assessee, and the report of assessing officer or valuation officer or transfer pricing officer, if any. After taking into consideration these points, the DRP shall issue such directions as it may satisfy, and such directions will be binding on the assessing officer. And after such directions are issued by DRP, AO shall pass final order within 1 month from the end of the month in which the directions are received by the assessing officer from DRP. Okay, and if the assessee is not satisfied with the order, he can appeal to ITAT, Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. Okay, but one point you have to note here is that the department cannot challenge the directions of DRP. That is because the directions are binding on the assessing officer. So only the assessee can file an appeal to ITAT if he is not satisfied with the order. So this was section 144C, which is reference to DRP. Clear? Next section, section 154, rectification of mistakes, which is apparent on record in any order passed by the authority, intimation under section 143(1), or TDS or TCS intimation under section 200A or section 206CB1. So if it is on own motion by the IT authority, it can be issued within 4 years from the end of financial year in which the order containing the mistake was passed. Okay, or if in other case where the application is made by assessee for rectification of mistake, then within 6 months from the end of the month in which the application is received by the IT authority, the IT authority can rectify the mistake. Okay, so these were certain important sections. Now let us move on to the 4 important assessment orders, that is assessment under section 143(3), 144, 147 and section 153A. We'll discuss the time limit to issue notice, what notice is to be issued under which section, and certain important points. First assessment, that is assessment under section 143(3), that is also called as scrutiny assessment. Notice is to be issued under section 143(2). And what is the time limit to issue notice? Notice should be served within 6 months from the end of financial year in which the return is filed. Served means it should be received by the assessee. Okay, and in certain cases it will be issued. Issued means when it is dispatched from the IT authority. So there's a difference between issued and served. And in this case, the notice is to be served within 6 months from the end of financial year in which the return is filed. And what is the time limit to complete the assessment? For assessment year 18-19, it is 18 months from the end of relevant assessment year, and from assessment year 19-20 onwards, it is 12 months from the end of relevant assessment year. Within such time limit, the assessment under section 143(3) should be completed. And one important point that you have to note here is that notice can be issued after issuing intimation under section 143(1). After issuing intimation under section 143(1), tax can be enhanced or refunded to the assessee. I think this is the only case where the tax can be refunded to the assessee, that is, it will be a case of benefit to the assessee. Clear with section 143(3), that is scrutiny assessment. Moving on to the next assessment under section 144, that is the best judgment assessment, also known as ex parte assessment. For this, notice can be issued under section 142(1) or section or show cause notice under section 144 itself. So let us see here. If the notice under section 142(1) is issued, that is RIA notice. as we discussed earlier, if it is issued and the assessee complies with the notice, then show cause notice should be issued before taking up best judgment assessment. And if the assessee fails to comply with the RIA notice, then show cause notice need not be issued. Directly the best judgment assessment can be taken up. And what is the time limit to complete the assessment? It is the same as for section 143.3, that is scrutiny assessment, same time limits. Okay, and the judgment of assessing officer should be based on some evidence. AO cannot do ad hoc addition. So only on basis of some evidence the judgment of assessing officer can be taken under best judgment assessment. The third assessment, that is under section 147, income escaping assessment. The notice is to be issued under section 148, and the time limit to issue notice will be generally within 4 years from the end of relevant assessment year. But if the income escaped is more than or equal to 1 lakh, then within 6 years from the end of relevant assessment year. If the notice is issued to agent of non-resident, then also within 6 years from the end of relevant assessment year. If the income escaped relate to foreign assets, then within 16 years from the end of relevant assessment year. All these time limits are for issuing notice under section 148, for assessment under section 147. And what is the time limit to complete the assessment? It is within 12 months from the end of financial year in which notice under section 148 was served. Okay, and where the notice is served on or after 1/4/2019, this will apply. However, if it is served before 1/4/2019, it is 9 months and not 12 months. So you have to note this point. And also tax rate for escaped income. Now suppose there is some escaped income which is found out by the department, what will be the tax rate applicable? It will be respective year tax rate shall apply. Okay, and AO shall before issuing notice record his reasons for doing so and shall supply the same if demanded by the assessee after the assessee has filed return of income. Okay, and the last assessment is assessment under section 153A. In respect of notice can be issued only for 6 assessment years from the end of assessment year relevant to the previous year in which search was conducted. However, if the 3 given conditions, that is, you can refer search book on page number 257. AO has in his possession books of accounts, documents or evidence which reveal that income represented in form of assets. And what are those assets? Immovable property, shares or securities, loans and advances, and deposits in bank, which has escaped assessment, amounts to or is likely to amount to 50 lakhs or more than or equal to 50 lakhs in the relevant year or aggregate in relevant years. And these assets will also include FDs. Okay, FD receipts. Second condition is income above has escaped assessment, and the third condition is search is initiated or requisition is made on or after 1/4/2017. And if all these 3 conditions are satisfied, the said notice can be issued for a further 4 assessment years beyond the above determined 6 assessment years, which means it can be issued for total of 10 assessment years. So to summarize it for you, generally notice can be issued for 6 assessment years, and if those 3 conditions are satisfied, it can be issued for 10 assessment years. Alright. Return of income for the year in which search was conducted shall be filed in due course, which will be assessed under section 143.3 or section 144. Okay. Time limit to complete assessment or pass order. It will be 6 or 10 years plus current year of search. If the search is completed or requisition is made before financial year 18-19, the time limit is within 21 months, and for financial year 18-19 it is within 18 months, and for financial year 19-20 and onwards within 12 months from the end of year in which the search is completed. So this is the time limit to complete assessment, and this was the time limit that we checked for issuing notice. I mean, for which assessment years can the notice be issued. Okay. And the last section that we'll discuss here is the power to survey. And the power to survey will be only after the approval of Joint Commissioner or Joint Director, JCJD. AO can impound books of accounts of assessee surveyed for maximum 15 working days. For beyond 15 days, prior approval of CIT or DIT or CCIT or DGIT or their principals is required. Okay. One easy thing that you can note here is that from assessment year 1920 and onwards, the time limit to complete assessment is generally 12 months from the end of relevant assessment year for all the assessments. Okay. So my dear friends, I really hope this video was beneficial to you. If yes, do share it with your friends, like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Thank you so much.